Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. Happy Friday, the 13th. Yeah, excellent. Good stuff there. Hopefully you're not superstitious at all because we are having a nice green day here today with Bitcoin. We'll look at that and much more, of course, help understand big picture, best practice, the whole 9 yards there. So that being said, I am not a financial advisor. I really just love teaching people how to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. My goal and my passion is to always help you become better trader. Period. That's just all there is to it. CryptoCache.tech is a site if you want to become a better trader, of course. I have a trading academy, community, and signal group, and I do offer discounts for military and third world countries, essentially, low-income housing. So I've even had some single moms reach out recently, and it works just fine. That's definitely something we can work with, and discounts are perfectly fine in that regard. So again, we'll take a look at that later. Message me if you have any questions. Take a look here, though, of course, at Bitcoin. What's going on is a really nice green day, followed by, of course, this Doji candle. Now, I sent an update to my community yesterday, letting them know if we get that Doji candle to close on the daily, it will be in pretty good shape here to see a recovery. Now, it's not going to be like a significant shot to the moon. I doubt we're going to be able to break some key level resistances, but the important thing for right now is that it's progressing upwards. There's less fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And, a lot of nonsensical stuff that happened this week is in the past for now, right? So, again, just some big picture stuff there to kind of think about. But again, when you see a Doji candle like this that wicks all the way down to a key level Fibonacci support level, which is 27,000, and bounce back, it's a very, very good sign. It's a sign of a trend reversal. Now, again, I'm talking about the immediate trend here, not necessarily a big trend, right? Because obviously we know on the macro that we're still descending, from 48,000 all the way down. So we could very well still see, 20, 22, 24,000. I highlighted that in my videos yesterday. But for today, we want to focus more so on the smaller time frames and kind of see what, if this is healthy, if this continuation is likely. But once again, big picture, we're still in a downtrend. Try to understand that. Until we break this essential trend line, there's no reason to get super excited about Bitcoin being back on track. And there's a good chance, once again, that we might see over the next month or two the price continue to digress somewhere in the range of 20 to 22,000. And I say that because, again, the moving averages that we have on the monthly, there's also a weekly moving average as well. I believe it's the 200 on the weekly and the 100 on the monthly. There's a handful of different ones, of course. Actually, no, correction. It's the 50-day SMA on the monthly. In fact, why don't we take a look at that instead of just kind of throwing out numbers. We are underneath the 20 and above the 50. And the 50 is trending right around 21,000 right now, and it has notoriously worked as a strong support level. If you look here from the past, you can see it's worked as a very strong support minus a candle wick down here. Okay, and you can also look here as well. The 200-day moving average on the weekly is trending right around 22,000 as well. So we've got some important indicators that are kind of showing us, hey, the bottom, while it might be tentatively in for the moment, may not be in for the big picture and the long term. One thing to note too, though, just while we're on the subject here, we're about 5 weeks into this digression. Okay, if you look in its history, Bitcoin has a tendency of turning around when you see a 9 on TD sequential. So again, when we have 9 weeks of just continuation to one direction or the other, a reversal is more importantly something to acknowledge that it could happen. Again, it doesn't happen all the time. I mean, you see back here we hit a 9 on TD sequential back in June of last year, and it took all the way up until the end of July roughly for the price to start recovering. Okay, so that same school of thought, that same thought process here, if we were to go sideways here for just say another couple of months, we could likely see an increase. But again, with us hitting this potential bottom, just say this is the bottom, it's still going to take a few weeks for the price to recover significantly, at least in the overall sense of things. Okay. Again, just some kind of stuff to throw out there for you. Again, I said we cover the smaller stuff, but that is important to recognize and to acknowledge. Okay, so taking a look at the daily, of course, let's work with some stuff here. So we're back up above 30 on the RSI. So a clean close today above 30,000, I would say, is a pretty important thing. Probably more importantly, somewhere in the range of 30,200 or higher. And I say that because that was yesterday's high. We want to try to get above that with a candlestick close there. But we also want to make sure, excuse me, that the price is staying above 30 on the RSI. Okay, in other words, if we have a significant retracement here in the next couple of hours, then we'll be stuck under 30 on the RSI, and that would be disadvantageous. Okay, excuse me. So, all good stuff there in that sense, being able to break back above. The fact of the matter is, we'll probably still be able to trend closer to 50 on the RSI if the price were to continue to progress higher. That'd put us somewhere in the range of 35 to 37,500. So there's a possibility that we could see the price continue upwards of that level before either A, gets rejected by this trend line, or B, just gets held down in general based on the fact that we have a lot of volume resistance at that level. Okay. Handful of things that could happen, but generally speaking, being back up over 30 on the RSI to me is a very helpful thing. So if we get a candlestick close today above 30,200, which was yesterday's essential highest point, I think that'd be a very, very helpful for us to be able to get through that. Okay. So again, good stuff there in that sense. Looking at the 4 hour, we can kind of see that we are making higher highs so far. It depends on how you look at it, of course. In other words, this is definitely higher than this, right? But it's not higher than this yet either. So we can expect 31,800, or just say, if we were to round up a little bit more, so 32,000, to be a potential resistance level. Okay, so a profit target, an appropriate profit target, if you have one, would be 31,900, just below that key level resistance, right? Or take it one further, if you look at 30,800, if you have your first profit target, 31,700 instead. All right. Again, just some stuff to kind of throw out there. But that's generally what we're looking at there in that sense. Take a look at the moving averages. We're hanging above the 20. And this is something I mentioned previously that has been holding the price action down pretty consistently. With us being over the 20-day simple moving average on the 4 hour, that's only 1 out of 6 indicators that I feel are really important to be back up above. So we're not in the clear at all, right? We still got plenty of moving averages to get past. But that's a very good step in the right direction. You can kind of see how the price is just kind of hanging out there. So it's a really, really good sign. The bottom, tentatively, for the moment, based on the 4 hour, should be 31,200, which is exactly the 1 day candlestick close from yesterday. So all good stuff in that sense. The 4 hours looking pretty nice. I really like that. And then if we take a look at the RSI here, again, getting stuck out at 50 on the RSI, we can break back above, start pushing closer to 70, then we can break through 32,000 and possibly even close above there at that point. It'd be very nice to see that. Again, we're a little ways away from that, but generally speaking, if we can get back up over 50 on the RSI here soon, and this little period of consolidation could help us with that, then we'll be in good shape. That being said, we also have a MACD convergence from yesterday, just kind of telling us that the bulls are absolutely in control of the last 24 hours, right? Now, big picture, long term, obviously we know on the monthly and the weekly we have a MACD divergence. So we got to acknowledge the fact that that will continue to happen. That's why we're expecting a lower price point overall from Bitcoin. But in the immediate future, we should expect or anticipate, once again, the 4 hour being a transitionary time frame, telling us that the price will likely continue to increase in the immediate future. In other words, within the next week or so, we should see some previous resistance levels tested. But just bear in mind, we've got the 50-day SMA and the 200 traveling behind here, and those are all trending really close to about, will be about 32,000 by the time we get there. Okay, so 32,000 could be a pretty strong resistance level as well. We'll find out here soon, but you can see the price had a lot of difficulty passing 31,800. Okay, so that's just generally what we're looking at there. That's the stark reality. Taking a look at the 1 hour, we are back up above the cloud, and this does give me some confidence. Seeing that we're back above the cloud, conversion lines above the baseline, lagging spans free and clear. We're looking very good here on the short term for Bitcoin. Okay. Now, being above the cloud is extremely important because if you look at this here, we have not been above the cloud in 9 days. It's been 9 days. So May 4th was the last time we broke over the cloud and we got rejected hard. Okay, that's what actually started this whole entire downtrend. So we've literally been downtrending since then for the last 8 to 9 trading days. Coincidentally, if you do the math, 8 to 9 trading days is essentially TD Sequential's sign for a reversal. We're pretty much right at a 9 for the daily if you think about it that way. And that puts us in a position here where the price being back up above the cloud shouldn't be a false positive like we saw before. We should not experience a dead cat here because of the simple fact that it's been beaten down for so long, bounced off key level supports, increased amount of volume. There's a handful of different reasons why the price will likely more so continue higher in the immediate future than lower. Once again, That's just what the technical analysis is telling us. MACD convergence on the 4-hour plus the 1-hour Ishimoku cloud breakthrough. That does imply that we should expect the price to continue to progress higher. Okay? Those are normally signs that you'd want to take a look at. If there wasn't so much fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market, this would be like an absolute buy low, sell high situation. Right? So again, just kind of telling you that so you understand big picture here that we're looking good in the last 24 or 48 hours. It needs to continue to do this here, though, of course. We need to keep seeing these higher lows and these higher highs. Okay, that would be really important to be able to continue to maintain that. But for now, absolutely celebrate the small stuff. I'm not telling you to take a long position right now and to effectively be able to use a lot of leverage. If you were to use anything of that nature or pursue something along those lines, make sure you have some tight profit targets, tighter stop losses, or correction, tighter profit targets, using lower amounts in your investment in general to ensure that you're not going to be stopped out. I know it's like high risk, high reward kind of situation sometimes with crypto, but it doesn't have to be that way if you use a low amount of leverage or just a low amount of capital when you do a spot exchange. Okay, so just something again to think about. Remain cognizant here that we're not in the woods. We are in the woods. We're not out of them yet, and we need to acknowledge the fact that, even though we will probably see some type of reprieve here in the next few days, it may not last that long. Okay, we need some absolute confirmation, and to me, closure above 37.5 would be a step in the right direction. It certainly wouldn't mean we're in the clear, but it would certainly help us understand that we're, getting perhaps on the right side of the tracks. Until we're back up above that area, that channel, so to speak, of 35 to 37, I would expect the price to continue to go sideways and or down overall. Right? We need to just kind of have our mindset understanding that things are shifting downwards for the most part in the overall sense of things before we open long positions, so that way you can kind of open them carefully, if that makes sense. All right, so again, just some words of advice there, but these are all things that I cover in my trading academy. I hope you can learn and grow as a better trader over the years here. And I do appreciate you looking and watching and interacting, whatever it is that you do. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks again so much to everyone who's been following me for the last year. It means a lot to me here, your support. So greatly appreciate you. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. Take care.